Hello, greetings, and welcome everyone to this news video. I am the Ninjaneer, and I am looking quite dapper today if you haven't noticed, mostly because I have places to go and things to do today that require fanciness. So let's go ahead and jump into the topics we're talking about this fine Friday afternoon by the time you guys watch this. Transport Evolve's interview with Steve Fambro. Tons of people are announcing their accelerator numbers. Mine is September Aptera update, driven car reviews Afeela, Pi2 has wings, Aptera's internal support structure, interview with Openpilot, and things that I liked. Let's get started. So, Transport Evolve is a channel that I enjoy quite a bit myself. Every time something of theirs comes out, I tend to watch it. They are like the super mega version of my channel in a lot of ways. I kind of dip my toe into the water of some things about EVs and EV news and alternative energy and things like that. I have never seen a more comprehensive view or scope of all of the stories happening in the EV world than what Transport Evolve does. So they are my favorite EV related news channel, period. So I advise you guys check them out if you want the full breadth and depth of the entirety of the EV industry. I also appreciate that you guys subscribe to my channel because I am the like the bite-sized version. But yeah, this interview that they did with Steve Fambro was absolutely fantastic. They asked great questions, he gave great answers. It is becoming more consistent that he is just generally a really good person to interview, and yeah, I've just noticed that he's gotten better and better, as has Chris Anthony and Chris McCammon. Like, they've all improved in meaningful and noticeable ways when it comes to how they interview. So the time has come. Please excuse my horrid looking inbox. That is way too many emails in my opinion. I tend to keep my emails under 100, and this one has kind of ballooned out of control for various reasons. At any rate, I am number 688 in the accelerator slots. Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool because it's a nice round number, both literally and figuratively. I am always more of a fan of even numbers than odd ones. Don't ask me why, that's just who I am. So when you click on the My Dashboard, it takes you to a section that shows you your estimated delivery and your reservation slot. H1 of 2025 is my delivery window. And I have one referral, and I'm an investor, I'm an accelerator, all that kind of stuff. Those are things that you guys should already know because I've talked about it more than once on this channel. I do invest in Aptera. I do have an accelerator slot. That is the reason why I cover Aptera so much, is I believe in them, and I believed in them enough to put my money where my mouth is. So. If you scroll down the page, it also shows you, congratulations, your reservation slot is 688. It does a little bit of the email, like a snippet of the email down below, and then it shows our timeline and where they are in validation and the process of producing the car. I see here that the start of production is the last step in their vehicle preparation situation, so I am looking deeply forward to the start of production and all of the validation going as well as it can. I am looking optimistically towards the date that they gave here. I do not know if they will keep that date or be able to keep that date. I expect that they will be able to because I imagine that funding went really well. I don't have any actual information on that, but I do expect the next financial report that they submit will show that they have done a heck of a job raising money and that they are basically ready to start getting all of their validation completely done. The September Aptera update finally came out, and it was a very nice recap on the things that they did for the month. It showed the events that they went to and all of the networking and whatnot that they did. They talked about how fruitful it was, which was a very cryptic way of saying we're not going to tell you how many awesome investors we got from this event because it is it's kind of bad juju to do that. But yeah, long story short, they gave us a good idea of what happened during the month. They gave us a bunch of things. They gave us a bunch of things to look forward to when it comes to future Aptera PI builds and things like that, which is actually the topic that I'm going to be talking about very soon later on in this video. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and talk about the Afeela, that is a Sony Honda collaboration situation. It's basically an EV that has Sony technology and software with Honda's excellent driving performance and handling and things of that nature. So there was an individual that I just discovered some time ago. Tom is a person who reviews cars in general. Like, he has a lot of reviews on his channel. This is the first one that's kind of like a first impression situation because he wasn't allowed to drive it. The video itself is pretty well produced, but he says that his other videos are better produced, which I tend to agree with. The person here, Raizu Williams, is with the Afeela program, just kind of a guy that walked him through the car and all of the features of it and things like that. There were a couple of questions that he couldn't answer and things like that, but overall it was a very good summation of what they expect Afeela to be and all that he was allowed to ask about, you know, things that will happen in the near future with respect to Afeela as a company and what have you. So if you guys have not been on X and following Steve Fambro, you might be missing out, because I noticed that there are some posts that he puts onto X that he doesn't necessarily put onto Instagram or any other platform that he is on, except possibly for LinkedIn, because I don't really check LinkedIn very often. But this one is showing the Aptera's body structure right here, bonded to the aluminum under chassis, the underbody part of it, where the batteries are going to go, and what I believe is the jacking points for the Aptera on a jack. What I'm guessing is happening here is, because he says Pi2 is resting on jacking points before it gets its wings, this is where they're going to put the suspension components and the battery components and all that kind of stuff into the actual vehicle so that they have a fully functional build. So I do not know that for certain, but I'm guessing that that's what's going on here. It looks as if this is the metal structure bonded to the chassis, the CPC made carbon chassis. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see what happens in the next few weeks. I kind of expect that, based on this post and based on other posts that we're about to get to right in a moment, that the Pi2 is pretty much right around the corner. The second piece of the puzzle that I was saying was kind of confirming what will be a very soon reveal of the Pi2, hopefully by the end of October. Like I said, I have no actual facts to support that this is going to be coming out in October. This is my hope and my dream. So yeah, this is going to be a thing that hopefully happens at the end of October, where they're going to show off at least most of what is built when it comes to Pi2. But you can see here that they have the passenger compartment, they have the latches for the seats right here. Sorry, not the latches, the bolts for the seat right here. They have the what I assume is going to be where it's covered with cloth, and where it's going to be finished, the center console, where the screen's going to be. You can see the trough where the air conditioning is going to come through, around the screen edges, and like you can see a lot of the stuff. Like this might even be, let me see. Yeah, that might even be the steering column and things like that going into the engine bay area or the motor bay area. yeah, this is beautiful. Like all of these pieces, this structural bar across here, all of this stuff is showing how far they've actually gotten with respect to production and how close they are compared to so many years ago when it looks so much further away than it is now. I would imagine that because they've gotten this far this quickly, because it was only like a couple of weeks ago that they said that CPC was coming down to help them build these things, because they're this far, it's not going to be long before they actually have Pi2. I wouldn't be surprised if Pi2 was ready and drivable by the end of October. Like I said, I don't have anything to actually validate that that's the thing, that nobody's told me anything. Don't assume that I know things that I don't know, because I don't know the things. But what I do see here is a very, very nearly complete body structure that just needs the finishing stuffs, basically, before it's ready to roll around and get some data, some much needed data for the testing of the PI builds. The CTO of Openpilot did an interview with a channel that is called This Week in Startups. They talked about a lot of different topics relating to Openpilot, as far as how they put it together, why they put it together, what they think it can achieve, and things of that nature. So the interview itself was very, very subdued, very chill. This man had almost a swagger about him that kind of made his answers that much more believable. But yeah, there was the reason why I found out about this interview was Steve from Aptera Owners Club. He showed this video and kind of talked about some of the pieces therein and the things that could apply to Aptera and what have you, and it was a very good video as well. But that's how I found out about this interview and the reason why I listened to it and watched it and things of that nature. So just check this one out if you're curious about the features that Aptera could have as far as driving around town using some form of autonomy. This is the one for you if you want to watch it and figure out, what features you may be able to expect from Aptera. So there is a gentleman that I discovered probably mid this week called David the Inspector, or his channel is called Dave the Inspector. I'm assuming his name is Dave, but he is an Aptera fan who is also a fire inspector. And just hearing his take on Aptera and the processes that Aptera goes through, the things that they do, and what have you, it's really interesting to hear. I enjoy his channel very much, so I don't know if you guys want to check him out and see if you agree. You can go ahead and subscribe to his channel as well. He's a very small channel. He's just starting out, but he has a lot of promise already. So I would say, if you just feel like something new and something different, something out there that is, I would say check this guy out. Yeah, I enjoyed his videos. Alright, the last thing that I liked today was a situation where Drive the Lightning is driving around and talking about 3 EVs that they thought were more or less a best scenario for what you can buy for an electric vehicle if you buy a used electric vehicle. So that breakdown was very comprehensive. They gave very good reasons as to why. Yeah, if I hadn't already decided what vehicles I was getting, then I would have taken these tips into consideration, because I am not an EV driver yet. They are EV drivers. They have a lot of experience behind the wheel of an EV, and so they have a lot of experience that they kind of brought to this video. So check it out if you want to have a little bit of an idea. If you're like me and you're about to transition to EVs and you want to know what to look for, or you haven't decided yet, then this is the video for you. Alright, ladies and gents, that will be the end of this video. My name is Jeff the Ninjineer. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do all of the YouTube-y things. Yeah, this suit situation is going to be fairly rare. I don't think I'm going to be doing this too often because it's hot and stuffy, especially under all these fancy lights and stuff that I have going on around here. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys next time.